Shit. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, BJ Mambo. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the third album by the Alice Cooper group, Love It to Death. Love It to Death, famously produced by Bob Ezrin, was released March 9th, 1971. This album features 9 tracks and has a runtime of 36 minutes and 58 seconds. This is the album that made Alice Cooper Alice Cooper. You know, they've really found their sound, their style on this album, drifted a little bit away from the psychedelic stuff, more into just the classic hard rock stuff. Bob Ezrin takes a lot of credit, is known for taking a lot of credit with getting these guys kind of finding their sound. Alice really finds his voice in this one. He sounds like Alice. So I'm really excited to talk about this album. I hope I do it justice, and let's jump on into it. Track 1, Caught in a Dream, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Talk about an opener. You got a great guitar opening up. Sounds awesome. Awesome way to start the album. And then boom, the lyrics come in. Verse 1. Right off the bat, you're bopping, tapping your foot. They still have, you know, this is one of the more softer songs on this album, but he definitely has that rasp coming out on this one. Nice little guitar between verse 1 and verse 2. It's short, sweet, great. Chorus comes in, just as catchy as the verse. Got some harmonizing going on, some multiple vocal tracks, sounds awesome together. You even got some subtle organ happening, maybe Bob Ezrin playing, I'm not sure. And then you even got some keys, some piano at the end, coming in and spicing it up. They repeat verse 1, but kind of switch up how the melody's sung. You got some additional instruments going on, making it more beefy, layered. Some sort of it's like a maraca. Is that what those things are called? The organ cuts out. Now you just have some piano, making another nice little switch. And then even when the chorus comes back, that's musically switched up too, which was a great choice. I don't know if this is Ezrin's choices, but the structure of these songs, especially even this first one, is just awesome. Then the song ends with more of the woes and ohs that Alice is screaming. Guitar's kind of playing along with it a little bit. Reminded me a little bit of Aerosmith's song Somebody off their first album in 1973. Kind of do like a similar thing, it sounds like. Maybe I'm wrong. But damn, what a good song. What a great opening track. Already, this first song compared to every track on the first 2 albums, I feel like already blew them out of the water. I could totally hear this being on the radio. I don't know why it wasn't. Great song, great opening, great start. Let's jump into track 2 and see if it's just as good. Track 2, ImEighteen, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. This is the band's first big single, and I get it. The lyrics, simple, easy, catchy, saying ImEighteen, kind of reminds me of School's Out. Kind of the School's Out mentality, you know, it's easy to shout, you're young, 18, or, you know, it's a powerful song. I love how it just hits hard when the song opens up. Nice hard, bam, 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 you know, nice hard, heavy hit. Felt good. And then finally, Alice comes back with that harmonica. Totally lacking. I don't think there's any of that in the last album, Easy Action. Why, I don't know, but him playing along, I think the harmonica and the guitar are playing along with each other, and it just gives it that extra sound, that extra catchiness. Got a nice little quick riff before the verse comes in, and then boom. Oh, no, my face and hand. Lyrics come in, Alice's voice comes in, it sounds nice and soft and sweet. Much more chill than the first one. First one was more poppy. Caught in a Dream was more fast, almost poppy. This is kind of, it's chill. And then boom, ImEighteen. Dun, 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 dun. Go back to that riff at the beginning. It's simple, kind of silly when you think about it, even with School's Out, not to keep bringing that up, but you know, you're singing ImEighteen. It's good, but at the same time, it is almost kind of comical. Or even singing and screaming School's Out. And ImEighteen, you know. But it totally works. I love how Alice's voice is extra raspy in this one, a little more intense. I don't think there's any additional layers or instruments going on during verse 2, which is okay. I think also there's only one vocal going on the whole time. Maybe when they say 18, maybe there's a little bit more, but I think it's just Alice just going for it. You got the chorus coming back, but only half of it. Then you jump into that solo. Killer, man. Then they repeat verse 1, but now he's really screaming it. There's more heavy guitar going on during it. So another kind of, you know, Ezrin style structure, it seems like. And then near the end when he says 18, it's different than it sounded before, which kind of just keeps it the song just sounds fresh the entire time because it keeps changing so much. And you got those final hits at the end, and then a little bit of organ coming in and fading out, which was a nice little choice. Probably Ezrin again. He's got to get in there. And then the song wraps up. Great song. Great first two songs. Again, comparing even these first two to the first two albums, it's like there's just no competition, man. You know, completely different sound, but as far as just how it's put together and how these songs been kind of structured and formed, it's just a world's difference. And great start to the album. Track 3, Long Way to Go. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Another song that just hits right in. This is a fun one. This is kind of more of a poppy one. You got that bass going on. Boom, 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 boom. A little bit kind of faster tempo than 18. Keeping the structure nice. Then you got Still Got a Long Way to Go. Even doing it right now, I'm like, man, it's fun. Which is kind of cool that this song is track 3 and they're saying Long Way to Go. I imagine this was intentional, but it kind of, I feel like they're telling the audience, there's still a lot more to this album that we got coming in. Organ comes in halfway through the first verse, giving a little bit of extra, you know, the bass is really standing out on this one. Then they got that nice little, I don't know what the music term is, but like, kind of sounds like a dip between the verses. The boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. You got 2 vocals going on the whole time during verse 2, it sounds like. Musically sounds about the same. I don't think there was anything additional. Maybe my favorite guitar solo so far between these first 3 tracks. I feel like it really just sticks with you. But not only having that great guitar riff, but then you get this little bass solo thing going on real quick. Then you get the harmonizing, don't you waste your energy on me, my friend, cause I'm... You get some keys kind of speeding this thing up. The lyrics start building up. The organ starts coming in. It's kind of going up the mountain. And I love how it ends with him saying, love to death. Saying the name of the title. It's always fun to sneak that in there. You got one more chorus. Then you got that final guitar kind of playing along with each other, harmonizing one another. Boom. Song ends. Again, another one. 3 songs out the gate. Awesome. Perfect songs. As far as I'm concerned, universally liked, maybe. I mean, that's not for everyone, but I feel like these songs are chill enough that they can be thrown on and just about anyone could like them. But really, this is a great song. This is another one that should have been more of a known thing, maybe some radio play. And if you listen to it, specifically with headphones, I can't stress enough, like headphones are key with stuff like this. You really could hear all the changes and all the additional layers and the switches up. It's a pretty complex song when you listen to it. You know, these first 3 tracks completely stepping away from their psychedelic sound. Seems like they're might be done with a psychedelic sound. Or are they? Track 4, Black Juju. 9 minutes and 14 seconds. Got that kind of like that tribal drum really slowly fading up. Get that organ. Very eerie. See, now they're getting their psychedelic sound is creeping its way in this album. Then it's about the 150 mark when bang, guitar really comes in, playing along with the organ. Just very scary almost. You got body. Alice screaming body. Which is a weird first word to say. And then about the 225 mark, you got that. Which sounds similar to that zombie song, Time of the Season, which came out like a couple years before that. I don't know if that was just a coincidence but you listen to boom, 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 boom. You know, they're both kind of, something's going on there. The lyrics sound good, they're creepy, melody's catchy, it's different, but it's still catchy. You know, second verse, I don't know if there's any additional layers going on, just kind of really telling a story on this song, it sounds like. Then about 3:45 mark, you get a little bit of a jam session going on, keeping it moving. It's a long song. I like how the music speeds up, slows down, fades in, fades out. Again, a nice eerie sound. Then he starts singing. Bodies need their rest. Kind of goes on for a little bit, whispering it. Some clock sound effects going on. No music. Oh, need our with the headphones. It's freaky. So you're really getting the psychedelic stuff, but still cohesive. Unlike the first two albums, especially their first album, which is so all over the place. This has still been a tight song, even though it's a 9-minute song. Organ coming back in. Then you got the wake up, wake up, wake up. That crazy, which is scary if you don't know what's coming. And that was the one part that I remember. I showed a friend this album, or I lent it to him, and I said, check this one out. But there's a few moments in this album that just be prepared. And this is maybe one of them. Again, I don't mind it, but I could see someone being like, what? Then they jam out at the end. Great guitar. Starts getting a little chaotic. Fast at the end. Real insane. Juju. Says the title of the song at the end. I like it. But this song's cool. Out of the four, I guess my least favorite, just because I still like it though. It's just more of a psychedelic thing, which is cool. And I'm cool with. But yeah, great first side, 4 tracks, got 5 left. Let's flip her on over and see how side 2 is. Track 5, It's My Body, 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Great opening riff. Sounds like an opener, perfect for side B. This is probably the chillest song on the album. Almost sounds like, I don't know how to word it, but it sounds almost like a song that could be played in the bedroom, if that makes sense. It kind of has that. Just the way, and even the words and the lyrics, it's very it's a cool song. This is the song, I know when we saw him perform, he came out with the snake. He had the snake going. But this song is tight, super catchy. Boom, 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 boom. Have you got the time to find out? Oh, it's nice. They kind of do the same thing in the second verse. He's kind of screaming it, a little bit more raspy, keeping with that sound structure that some of the previous songs did. Guitar solos, short, but perfect. Repeat verse 1. Now you got double vocals, a little more keys in there, switching it up. Yeah, it's a great song. Great opening track to side B. One of my favorites of this album. Again, another song that I feel like should have been a more known song. I know the fans know it and enjoy it, but I doubt this one was ever on the radio. Maybe it was, but I don't know. But a great song, man. So again, man, we got 5 songs. I know 4 is a little bit weird, Black Juju, but 5 just great songs. Each sound different. Maybe each a different tempo, different beat. It's a great album. A great start. Let's go to the next track. Track 6, Hallowed Be My Name. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Got a little weird sound effect, alien-ish noise. If you listen closely, there's talking at the beginning. They say something like, don't let your cards, wait till your cards hatch or something. Very heavy organ song. Almost steals the show. A little bit of guitar between the verses. Doesn't really stand out too much, but you got a little bit of something in there. Not really too much additional tracks going on during the second verse. Does that little scream laugh that leads into the solo. Solo's not bad. Again, doesn't stand out too much. But it's a short song, so it's really moving. So you got some jamming out at the end, which was a nice touch. Some hard hits to finish. Solid song. It's quick. I think the shortest song, this and It's My Body, are in the 2.5 marks. But probably my least favorite so far to these first 6. Not a bad song, but maybe one of the weaker ones. Maybe. Let's move on. Track 7, Second Coming. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Has that eerie opening. Kind of like, I don't know why, but I think like a Dracula's castle type of little riff sound, if that makes sense. It jumps into that nice little piano. You got Alice singing a little more softer. It's kind of got a ballad feel. If there was a ballad on this album, I suppose this would be the one. Got some more double vocals, I believe. Have a little bit of a jam, solo action, then jump into verse 2. A little bit louder now. Kind of that style they've been doing. Then about the 140 mark is when you hit into the musical break, and I don't think words come back at all. Like a marching band drum thing going on, which is cool. Great guitar. Here's when the guitars really stealing the show during this little breakdown at the end. Got some piano fading in, and once that fades in, everything else fades out. except for the piano, which is an awesome choice. Awesome choice. And the piano keeps going and it transitions to the next song. In fact, these next 3 songs, including this one, are kind of like one. Like an Abbey Road thing going on. But sweet little transition into track 8. So let's do it. Track 8, Ballad of Dwight Fry. 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Those keys keep going on. Very lullaby-ish. Then you got the little kid's voice.
Mommy, where's Daddy?
Creepy. The keys build up. Got some clean guitar. I think clean guitar. Maybe it's acoustic, but I think it was clean guitar. Lyrics come in. Kind of talk singing a little bit. Music stays about the same, but the vocals start kind of getting louder. And boom, chorus hits in. It's catchy. It's powerful. This is a popular song. You got the second verse. A little bit bigger, a little bit louder. Got those like, I don't know what, those chime, those bells, I don't know what it is, but keeping it that creepy sound. Alice starts kind of saying, I gotta get out of here, It gets louder, louder. Again, another thing, kind of like the Black Juju with the wake up. You know, giving people a heads up, saying there's a few moments in this album, this being one of them, when he really starts freaking out. I gotta get out of here, You know, like, just be prepared for it. Then you got one more chorus, and then got that bomb effect. And then got those drums. And I feel like that should have transitioned to track 9, but they didn't, and they kind of kept going. And then you got another verse, you know, Alice telling more of a story, sounds like going on. Still sounds great, still creepy, still catchy, but was it necessary? Then you got one more chorus, a little bit of jamming, and then back to that drum hits again. So, you know, there might have been 2 minutes of that song, maybe a minute and a half. I don't know how long that was, but after that explosion, I personally think the song that's where it should have ended. I don't think that third, fourth verse is necessary, and the chorus again, hearing that 4 or 5 times, it's like, maybe could have trimmed. So if there's a negative, that would probably be it. But that's really one of the only first, and that's almost more of a pet peeve, really, but that's only kind of the first one that I called out so far on this album. So we're on track 8. Not bad. Track 9, Sun Arise. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. This is a cover. Interesting ending on a cover, but totally works. This song is chill, man. Again, I like how it transitions with the slow. Kind of builds up. Sunrise. Like, okay, all right. Sounds nice. Sunrise. It kind of, structure-wise for the album, makes sense for the story, if there's a story. But this song is all about the harmonizing and the vocals, because there's a lot going on in the vocals. I wish I could see and maybe figure out how many vocal tracks there are, especially near the end, because there's got to be could be a dozen, I don't really know, but there's a lot. This song's kind of getting back into that Beatles sound that their first 2 albums had. Still its own, but you know, you could see the similarities with that and them, and you know, especially the album opened with the kind of softer poppy song and ends with kind of this almost like uplifting, you know, it's a nice song. I like that eerie guitar that's kind of peppered throughout the song, those downwards, you know, so you still kind of have that eerie sound. Got a nice pleasant little guitar solo leading into the, I guess, finale of the song. Around the 2 minute, 5 second mark is when you get the final Sun Arises happening and building. This song reminds me, kind of like the structure reminds me of I Love the Dead off of $1 Billion Babies, where they repeat the chorus, but it just builds. So you got the main sunrise, whoa, you know, the main thing, but then you got multiple sunrises, different places, different, you know, melodies, and really building up. Again, I wish I knew, but there's a lot of vocals going on during that point. But all that said, you know, 1 minute 40 seconds of that repeated over and over. Is that too long? Perhaps. You know, it's a shame because, again, that's 2 songs back to back that maybe could have been trimmed a little bit. But I do like how it builds with The Sun Rises, and, you know, I think the whole band's probably in there singing a line or two. You know, but it's okay. I mean, I'm down with that. You know, then eventually it starts fading out. Which, honestly, the fade out could have been longer. I think it was like 20-second fade out when it started kind of going down. That could have been an extra 10-second fade out, and maybe it would have kind of tightened it a little bit, not made it feel as repetitive. But again, still catchy and nice. It's not like, I don't think cringy, but, you know, it is what it is. Again, 1971, things, you know, it's all good. But great way to end the album. Perfect closer. Interesting as a cover, but that's okay. Billion Dollar Babies opened with a cover. This one closes with a cover. It's all good. And then that's it. The album's over. Final summary. Awesome, awesome album. One of their best. A major step up. Again, I don't mind the first 2 albums. I get why people don't like them. And I don't think they're great albums necessarily. I don't think they're bad. But they're not great. But this album, man, and again, I don't know if Ezrin takes a lot of credit for this. They say he does. You get the main single, ImEighteen, off the album. So you got your single. 9 tracks is a little bit weird. Sometimes I kind of have a weird little, I don't know if it is a pet peeve, but when there's an odd number of tracks, if it's not 10 or 8 or 12, you're in like 9 or 11. It's weird to me because if you don't have the physical vinyl record, like, how do you necessarily know where's the halfway point? You know, like, some might think track 5, Read My Body, it's a Kiss song. Some people might think track 5, It's My Body, could have been the closer to the side one. Like, how would you know if you didn't physically flip it? But whatever, that's just kind of my personal thing. I'm so happy with it. It's a pretty tight time. Again, maybe could have been a few minutes shorter if I want to find a negative, but that's really it. The band sounds great, the music's great, Alice sounds great, the lyrics are tight, catchy, clever, but I don't think there's one bad song on this album. Like, I have my little nitpicks, like, about maybe some of the lengths, but that's really it. I mean, really, going through this list with you guys, like, going through this album, like, it was really those 2 last songs that I felt were maybe a little bit too long. Like, sure, Black Juju goes on for a while, but I don't mind it. In some of the future albums, they have similar style songs that kind of go on, like I was saying. But I feel like Black Juju seemed okay. It didn't seem as long as, again, I think some future ones kind of do. But yeah, man, what a good, solid album. Maybe perfect. I don't know. Definitely one of his best. One of his staples. Fan or not, check this album out. Again, I'm not sure where this one will rank, but this is, I think it's going to be up there, guys. And just like that, the video's over. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. I post weekly, so feel free to come back, subscribe, like, comment. Definitely comment. I want to talk to the fans. I want to talk to other Cooper nerds out there and geek out over this stuff. Next album is Killer, which is another awesome album. Came out the same year. It's always crazy, you know, these bands in the 60s, 70s. Cranking out these albums. Kiss did the same thing, man. 2, 3 albums a year, just cranking them out. It's very impressive. Yeah, I guess that's it, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.